everyone, my name's Rhiannon from Blue Dog Board Games. Today we are going to be doing a solo playthrough of an absolutely fantastic game, a slightly older one, but still a fantastic one, Grand Austria Hotel. This is a solo mode that has been fan-made. I believe that the person that does this has designed quite a few solo modes for a different number of games, and this is the one that has been brought into the Let's Waltz expansion and has been released. So you can sort of purchase the expansion for Grand Austria Hotel and has this solo mode within it. But as it stands, you cannot play Grand Austria Hotel just straight out the box solo. I have got all the print and play copy today. I don't know exactly what changes or if any changes have been made in the Let's Waltz expansion solo mode as compared to this one, but this is the one that I'm going to be playing today. It is extraordinarily smooth, it is brilliant, and hence why it's been made into a real game. So first things first, we do need to select a difficulty level. We're going to be playing on the normal difficulty today. The only differences are we've got a Mautoma set of cards that you will be able to see. I will pan down. So when we draw them, there's some bits of brackets that you ignore when you are doing the normal difficulty. Yes, we ignore the bits and brackets when we're playing normal. And if you're playing easy, you also ignore the assistant icons on there. But we're going to be playing the normal today. I do find that the sweet spot in this game is the normal for me. I very rarely win on normal, but it's never, my scores are never so far away from the Mautoma that I feel that it's unobtainable. So it is a really, really good. This solo mode has been very, very well made. We start with 10 money on our track over here. We start with 6 assistant cards which are in our hands. These are not played. And we have to select a guest from the display for free. Normally they have a cost, so if I wanted this one, it costs 3. These 2 are free over here. So I'm going to just have a look to see who I might want. We can then prepare some rooms in our hotel. And this guy is just looking tasty, isn't he? Look at that, 10 victory points. And that will stop the Mautoma getting him as well. We are going to go for him, I think. He could go in there. Yeah, let's go for this guy. He's going to be at one of our tables. We also gain, sorry, this is quite a big game, so half of the stuff is actually off the screen, but you don't really need to see it. I'm going to keep these off the screen as well at some point. I will try and put them here when they're played, or I might just try and lay them down here because I believe you can see most of this, and this is a big board and you don't really need to see it all. We have one of each ingredient, so we have coffee, which is the black cubes, red wine or wine, which is the red cubes, strudel, which is the beige colour cubes, and white cubes, which are cake. And fortunately, you might not be able to see the difference between the cake and the strudel, because they are quite similar in colour, but that should be reasonably okay if I tell you what's going on. The last thing that we have to do is prepare some rooms. So we can prepare up to 3 rooms in our hotel. We have to start in this bottom corner. And when we prepare them, we have to pay a cost associated with what the number says on the left-hand side. So it's free to do it on the bottom floor. So my Earl can go in there in a minute. Now, what do I want to do? I think I want to start getting some yellow rooms. We have to start spreading out orthogonally anyway. So let's go orthogonally to the right. Do I want a yellow or a red now? Should we branch out? Although, what are these? These are like objectives that we can score. Maybe we'll try and get some red then. We'll go for a red, one of each colour. And these are all free to prepare. And then we are ready to go. They don't really have any setup. They do, as their only pretty much setup rule, shuffle their cards. They have 5 endgame scoring cards. If there's a symbol on the card that comes out, it will tell us whether or not they play one of them. So they're off the screen. I'll only put them out or draw one of them as and when it tells us to. So before we even start, I'm just going to have a look at what cards we have and see if there's any bonuses that I can sort of see to start with, because he's only going to give us 1 money. The bonus that he's giving us is the 10 victory points. And I'm just getting a bit aware of, it's a very strangely themed game. I understand all the hotel and the serving, all of that is very thematic. But the Emperor track, this track in the middle here, is a bit strange. I'm not really sure, I'm not very aware of how Austria works and all of that, but I don't really understand the role of the emperor and the authority figures in there. But essentially, we're going to be trying to push up this track and scoring in certain areas of the game, and if we don't hit a certain point, we're going to be penalised for it. And I'm also going to be aware of these are objectives, so one of them is to do with spot 10 on the emperor track. Maybe I should have been building upwards as well, because this is 2 columns. We'll be very aware of that in a minute. Anyway, so we have got 1 immediate red wine, 1 immediate coffee. Oh, sorry, no. Once a round. I played this the last few days and I haven't seen one of these once a rounds. They've all been hidden in the deck, so I'm just like, oh, these are new. So yeah, once a round you can get a coffee, you have to exhaust it. Once a round you can get a red wine and exhaust it. This is, you never have to pay for a guest. When you draw, oh, I like this one. When you draw a die from spot 4, you can get the emperor and money instead of one or the other. I believe that is whenever you serve a guest, you get a yellow guest, you get an extra money. Endgame scoring, so 3 times red rooms that are closed. That will be quite good if we manage to get that as well. So we've got quite a good combination here. That's a pretty good combination. All right, so let's get going. The first round of the game, or all of the rest of the game, play exactly the same. So we're just gonna roll our die. Unfortunately, they are off screen. We have 10 die, and then we sort them into their spots. So each value die is associated with a certain action, and the number of die in that action spot is to do with how strong that action is going to be. So at the moment, I can't technically really do a number 2 action, which is to gain some red wine and coffee, or a number 5, because we haven't rolled any of them. 6 is a bit of a wild card though, so you are able to go to spots that there's no die available for, if you really want to. And the turn order in this game switches up a little bit, so we're going to be drafting die in a minute. I have selected myself to be the first player because I'm probably going to lose and I need the first player advantage if there's any. So I'm going to be drawing a die first, then he's going to be drawing 2, and then I'm going to be drawing the last one. And then we swap, so next time he's going to be going first and then I'll draw 2. But the very first thing that we do is we have to think about whether we want to bring a guest into our restaurant area. So we can select one of these to bring into our restaurant. And I do want to. I'm just wondering if I should go for this guy, or it's the princess, sorry, not the guy. They're quite fussy. They want 2 strudel and a coffee. So I'm just a bit mindful of blocking my restaurant up. We can only have 3 at a time with people that we can't immediately serve, especially as we can't even get coffee and red wine right now unless we go to the 6th spot. And also we're probably not going to be getting one of these blue rooms anytime soon either. That's okay. Let's go for that one because I can look to serve the princess first, I think. So they all shuffle along. And we draw a new one. And then I can select which of my die I want to draw. So basically the actions in a nutshell, the first 2 are to draw goods. So if you draw a number 1, you can draw cake and strudel, but you always have to draw more or equal amounts of strudel to cake. So you can never have more cake. Same with red wine and coffee. You can never draw more coffee than the red wine. Then if you go for spot 3, that's preparing rooms. So I've got 3 vacant rooms at the moment. To get more vacant rooms, I have to go here to prepare them, and sometimes it does cost money to do that. Number 4, that's where you can either push up your emperor track in the middle or gain money. I have a card here which allows me to do both. So if I did go here, this action would be a strength 2 because there's 2 die. So that means I can push up twice on the emperor track, get 2 money, or I could get 1 emperor track spot plus 1 money. But my card would allow me to do both of strength 2, get 2 money, 2 spots on the emperor track, which is really, really powerful. But it is quite an expensive card, I think. It is 4 money, so we'll have to see whether we want that. Number 5 spot allows you to play one of your assistant cards, and the strength of it allows you to discount it. So if there were 3 die there, I could play a card and discount the money, the cost of it of 3. And this one, you have to pay 1 krone to go here for the 6. And basically you can do any of these actions for the strength of what that number 6 spot is. So at the moment it's strength 3. So I could do the number 2 action with strength 3, but I do have to pay to go there. So I'm looking at hopefully serving this princess this round. That would be fabulous if I could. So I could technically go to the cake and strudel spot. It's strength 2, so I could get 2 strudel. Serve the strudel. I could pay, we've got also anytime actions. I say anytime, it's like on your turn actions. So you can boost like the strength of an action, you can serve items from your kitchen, you can complete an objective, you can use the staff card by turning it sideways if it's like a once a round benefit, or you can move a guest to a room. So I could spend a krone to serve out my kitchen. If you take goods from these 2 actions here, they are available immediately, so you can take them straight from this and serve them. But if you cannot serve them or don't want to, they go to your kitchen, and so it costs to then get it out of your kitchen. Quite honestly, I think that might just be a good first option. So let's draft this one. It's strength 2. We're going to go for 2 strudel and serve the strudel on little princess here. I'm actually going to spend a krone as well to then serve as much as possible out of my kitchen, and as well as that I am going to send the princess to her room. So discard that. I'm going to put her in this room down here. You have to do the same coloured room. So blue goes in blue. There are green guests as well, and they are wild, so they can go in any coloured room. So let's turn that to the occupied side. We get an extra 2 victory points. You will see that these rooms are all sort of grouped in colours. So here I've got a group of 1 blue. Here I've got a group of 3 yellow. And so when you complete a group, so occupy all of the sections of a group, you get bonuses. And blue gives you victory points, red gives you money, and yellow gives you emperor bonuses. So that's nice, I get an extra 2 victory points there. I also gain 4 victory points for completing her. And I get to push up 3 times on the emperor track. We're just going to chuck her to the side because we don't need her anymore. But I think that was a reasonable first turn. So we're just going to go straight onto the Mautoma's turn. So all they do is draw a card and we resolve it. So this is a good one to start with. So remember, we're on a normal difficulty, so we ignore everything in the parentheses or brackets. So this guest is in brackets, so they're not drawing a guest this round. But they are drawing a die of either value 5 or 6. They are going to be taking only 1 die, and it's the most numerous one, so they're going to draw this 6. We then have a look at what round we're on. So we're on round 1, and then it tells you a little bonus that they do. So they're going to be pushing up the Emperor track once. Finally, they are going to be going straight ahead, very, very aggressively, drawing a final scoring card. So they're going to be getting 1 extra point for every occupied room they have at the end of the game. You don't really need to see this, so I will tell you what, stick it here. That's their drawn cards. And then they actually go again, because remember, I go, they go twice, then I go, and then we swap next time. So there you go again. They're going to be drawing a green guest. So because there's multiple, they go for the highest victory points. They're both 0 victory points. So we have a look at this little arrow going to the leftmost one. So they're going to be drawing this one. They have different rules to us about whether they are preparing rooms, paying money. They don't have any money. So they would just gain 0 victory points. We immediately prepare a room and occupy it. They don't have to pay anything at all. Usually they would go from left all the way along, but because it is a green, they do it slightly different. So they are going to be working from the right-hand side upwards. And they don't really need, we'll just discard that off to the side. I'll let you know if we need to see it at any point. They're drawing a 1 or a 2, let's replace that. We've only got a 1 left, so they draw that die. And then they push up the emperor track again. Then it's back to my turn. So they're really easy to resolve. Sometimes I need to read the rules again about, oh, do they start over here or do they start over there? But once you get going, it's really, really smooth. Really, really clever little game. So I'm eyeing up this prepare rooms. I don't need to prepare rooms right now, but I've got a lot of money. And it's a strength 3, so that's really quite powerful. I could just push up the emperor track, but honestly, I think what I want to do is try and play this first before I do that, which is you can get the money and the emperor score. So maybe I'll try and do that next round. Some of these cards, these guests, have abilities where you can play an assistant card, one of these, and get a discount, which is what I'm sort of looking for, but there's not any at the moment. So we'll just have to ignore that at the moment. Do I want a guest? I want either a red or a yellow guest. I don't really want to pay for this guy. That does allow you to prepare a room for cheaper. But this one gives me money. And you want strudel and cake. And you give me a bit more victory points. But we could just satisfy you straight away, pretty much. I don't know. I don't think there's any real good way of doing it. We need to get going on some red and yellow. So let's game the red guy, I think. And then let's think about what we want to draw. There's lots of reds coming out. I think we're going to go ahead and prepare rooms, you know, and hope that something better comes out next time. Yeah, so I'm going to draw this one. So I can prepare 3 rooms because there are 3 die there. I'm going to try and go in columns because of this objective here. As soon as you complete 2 columns, you can score that one. So I'm going to prepare, I don't know whether to go for, should I go for these 2 here? So I need another red, no, I need another blue room. So maybe I should go up here. So it's going to cost me 1 crone to prepare this red room here. And it's going to cost me 2 crones to prepare this blue room here. And then, shall I get a yellow? Just to spread out a little bit? Yeah, let's get a yellow. I'm going to get a yellow. I don't know whether to come along this way or I could gain a victory point by putting on there. No, we're going to stick it there. I think I've already paid, haven't I? I boosted last time. 2 to go at the top. 1 to go there, 1 to go there. I think that's right. Sorry if not. Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do. Just make the most of the die. So that's the end of the first round. What happens now is we just tick up the round counter. We get all of our die back and we swap our little tiles. And then we start again. So they're going to go first this time. Nervous about what they're going to do. So we don't have much strudel or cake. Lots of 6s though. Look at all this red wine. So they're going to go first. So they're going to grab a blue guest. When there is nothing on the map, on the board, so there's no blue guests, we just draw again. So there's a grey. So that is anything of highest score. So they're going to grab a red. And they now start over here. They try and go normally from left on the bottom, but that was because of the green. So they score 5 victory points there. And that is it. So they're going to be drawing die number 3. And they're going up twice on the emperor track. Right. Ideally, I wanted to try and get some cards out, but that's not happened, has it? Maybe next time. I think it would be foolish to not make the most of this as well. All that coffee and red wine. Because I could boost that as well and serve basically this guy as well. That could be quite good. This allows me to prepare more rooms as well. So I could just prepare these along here. I'm mindful of my money. But I don't know, I'm clogging up my tables quite a lot. Let's go for him. And we will suffer the consequences. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to get strength of 4. I'm going to pay 1 to get strength 5. I want to draw 3 red wine and 2 coffee. So I can serve this guy immediately and this guy over here. I think I'll just be patient for a moment about this because I don't need to move him out. So what I'm going to do now is send the Earl up to his room. All the way up there. Thank you very much. I get 1 coin back. 10 points. So what am I on? 16. Thank you very much. You can go over there. And yeah, we'll just leave you for now. I could pay a crone to serve him the strudel, but I don't desperately need to move him out the way. My second go then, I can take another guest if I want to. Maybe I should. Yeah, I think we're going to actually get some more red people because I'm a bit conscious that I want to occupy red rooms. And then my second die, I don't think I want the red wine and coffee again, so I might get this instead and do the Emperor track / money. Or, no, what we're going to do, we're going to pay 1 crone to draw this, so it's strength 3. We're going to go here as if it was a 5, so I can play this for a reduction of 3. So pay 1, I'm going to stick this over here so it's active. When I draw a number 4 die now, I can get both the Emperor bonus and money. So next round, we're going to be going there. And hope there's more die there. Yeah, I think that's good. And then maybe we could get some more strudel and cake at some point soon. His last go, he's going to be drawing 2 guests. So first one is going to be grabbing a green. See, he does not get victory points for that. For you. And then he's going to be grabbing the one with the highest victory points. It's going to be a massive one, isn't it? A 3. That's not too bad. That's me. 1, 2, 3. By this point, he's usually way ahead of me, so this is positive, but we won't count our chickens yet. And then he's going to be drawing a maximum die, and then increasing 1 on the Emperor track. And that is the end of round 2. See, it really is quite snappy when you get there. We go into round 3. So this is our first Emperor scoring round. So at the end of this one, we need to be checking our criteria about whether we have met his, we've satisfied him enough, basically. Whether he's happy enough with us. If not, we have to pay a penalty. So I'm absolutely going to be trying to push up that track. We only get the bonus if we are still within this yellow section after we do this. So we score, the steps are, we score victory points according to where we are in the track. We have to -3 from our spot. If we're still in the yellow section, we gain the bonus. If we're not in the yellow section, we have to pay... Oh, I can't remember. I always avoid the penalty. I'm not sure if it's if you have to pay the bonus if you're in this spot, or if you only have to pay the bonus, the penalty if you're in that spot. We'll get to that if we deal with it. But I always absolutely try and avoid that wherever possible, because it's really, really, really bad. And you can get some really good bonuses from the Emperor track. So, oh yes, look at this. Look at all these 4s. That was really worth doing. Okay, so luckily I get to go first. I cannot draw a guess because I have filled up all my tables. But I'm not worried about that. That's fine. What we are going to be doing is drawing this nice big fat 5. It was a 4, but it's a strength 5. So that means I get 5 crowns all the way up to 8. And I can go up 5 on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Amazing, amazing, amazing. That was such a good call to do, I think. I could now put you away. I think we only need to do that when I really need to prepare rooms. Just going to take a turn. I don't want to get too overwhelmed with goods. So here's go. He's going to be drawing a grey with the highest victory points. So we're going to go for this guy here. And he's going to go in that room. 4 victory points for him. 1, 2, 3, 4. And somewhere with the maximum number of dice, he's going to draw a 4 as well. We are on round 3, so he is boosting once. And then he goes again. He's going to draw a red, highest victory points. So he is on his second row there. He gets 2. And then draw again from the maximum. Now there's 3 die in both the 1 and the 4 spot. So he's going to go and have a look at the little arrow here. It's saying leftmost. So he's going to draw a 1. And we're on round 3. So he increases 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow, he's doing well here. And he draws another final scoring card. Oh no, that's bad. He's scoring 1 per closed room. And also at the end of the game, he's also scoring another 1 per closed room and 1 per open room. That's mean. That's really bad. Oh well. Oh well. I've just thought as well, it's my turn now, I've just thought I could try and get, because it's a bit of a race for these objectives. If you can get there first, you get 15 victory points. Second is 10, then you only get 5. In a multiplayer game. If I'm on spot 8, if I could get 2 more, I could grab that 15 money. I'm not sure if that's worth it though. I should probably focus on getting some goods and stuff really, shouldn't I? No, why would I pass up that opportunity for all this money? Why would I pass that up? And that 15 victory points. Yeah, we're actually going to be really boring. We can't draw a guest. I think we might put him away in a second. Or should I do that now? Let's do that now. We're going to pay 1 to serve you and you. We're going to put you in this room here on the second floor. I get 2 victory points for that. I can also prepare a room for a cost of -1 crone. So I think let's do 2 to prepare this blue room at the top. So some of these have victory points on. I get 2 for that. And then I can prepare another room for normal cost. We're going to be trying to potentially get another red here. So let's maybe do this one for 2. And then we're working towards our columns. So you can disappear. That means on my turn, I can draw a new person. We're very cake heavy, and cake is more difficult to get than the strudel. So maybe I'll go for this guy. I'm very much going down the money route though. Is that sensible? That's okay, I think. That's fine. We'll roll with that. So what do we want to do? I think we are going to just go for this. Yeah, so strength of 3. I get 3 money, and I can push up 1, 2, 3 on the Emperor track. We have exceeded spot 10, so we get to claim that 15 victory points. It says to do it at the end of the game. I'm just going to claim it now, otherwise I'll forget. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 13, 14, 15. Also, I don't really see why you wouldn't do it immediately, because then you can sort of see a better picture of how you're doing in the game. I feel like that was maybe a bit of a waste of time, but we've got a little tiny bit of money. We're definitely getting our rooms built or opened up and prepared. And we're definitely working towards the reds and the yellows as well. So I think it's okay. So we have both drawn both die. So we're going to go towards the Emperor scoring now. So I'm going to do me first. So I score 7 victory points because I'm on spot 11. It tells you the victory points underneath. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I then minus 3 from my spot. 1, 2, 3. And because I'm still in this golden section here, I gain an extra 3 crowns as a bonus. The Mautoma just scores the victory points where he is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minus is 3 from his spot, but he does not score any bonus, so that just gets removed from the game. And then we are on round 4. So round 4, let's swap you guys over. And hope, what do we need? We need a ton of cake and strudel. That sounds like a good day. Oh, there's not a ton of it, but there's a little bit. So we'll have to maybe deal with that. We've got only 1 5. There's not a lot of card play in this one. In the game I played last night, I had about 6 or 7 cards out. To be fair, I did have like a end game scoring criteria, which is like you score extra stuff from your all your assistants. But usually you do get a good turnover of this, but I'm not really getting all the bonuses. I am focusing on the the red guests, and they tend to give you money rather than assistant turnover. But anyway, that's fine. We seem to be doing reasonably okay. Don't want to count my chickens, but they're going fast. So let's see what they're going to grab. They're going to grab this red. No victory points for you, which is great. And they're going to grab a number 2 die. I think that's okay. I don't think we wanted that. We're on round 4, so they're just going to creep up 1 there. What do we need then? We need loads and loads and loads of strudel and cake. So we can't serve anyone, so we can't gain a new guest right now. So that's quite frustrating. So I think the only option for us would be, what I could do is go here. I'm going to pay 1 money to boost it. So this is value 3. I'm going to get strudel, cake to serve you, and strudel you. That's my first one. I'm going to put you in a room. So let's put you in this one up here, I think. Yeah. I get 4 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get to gain a guest for free. Who do I want? Do I want anyone? I want another yellow person. So you could be good. That could get me an extra strudel, which would be nice. But I'm just looking, this one would allow me to play, because I want a final scoring thing. This could just give me a bonus or a discount on that. But then I'm also looking at these, which gives me a coffee and a wine every round. We're not really focusing on cake and wine people though. I think we need yellows really. So let's go for this guy. Plus he's worth the same amount of victory points. Maybe I should have gone for that guy. It's done. I've done it now. So I still can't select a guest for my second action. I do think I want to try and get some turnover here. But it's just a waste to go here and get one strudel. And I could boost it to get one cake as well. Alright, as we are in the Emperor phase next round, I think I'm going to go here to ensure that I get the bonus next time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I would get the bonus anyway, but the more I push it up with the higher number of die there, the less I have to worry about it later. So I am going to go here. That's a strength 3, so I gain 3 money and 3 spots on here. And then we're going to leave it, and we just need to get loads of stuff next time. Loads of stuff. Their turn. They are going to grab the green with the highest points. So this guy here, he's going to score 2. And he is grabbing a yellow room. He actually scores an extra point for that one. And a number 5 die. We are on round 4. So what's this here? Oh, so he gains 2 up here. And there's parentheses, I call it brackets, around objective C. So he is not scoring that right now, which is really good. He's probably going to get it way before me, but we'll see what we can do. Next round. So we are being scored from the Emperor this time. We are safe though, so we don't need to worry about it. We would be decreasing 5 spots this time. Let's replace this person. Not that I have any turnover of guests. My guests are having a leisurely dining experience with me today. Oh, we got lots of 6s. That could be useful. Oh no, we've got so many 4s. Usually there's like a sparse number of 4s, but now I've got loads of money and I don't know what to do with it. So I'm going first. I can't take a guest. We're gonna have to go here. We have to pay a crone for the privilege. We're gonna boost it as well. So it's actually strength of 4. We are gonna get strudel, cake. So cake can go to you, cake can go to you, strudel can go to you, and we've got an extra strudel. Did I get cake? Yeah, that's good. What I really like about this game as well is quite colourblind friendly. So if you can't see some of the colours, they actually have symbols on. So it's not like immediate, yes, you would pick up on that, but all of the rooms are colour coded or have symbols on. So the red ones have like a spider, and the red guests have little spiders on their keys. So it's all like cross-matching. I'm assuming like if you are colourblind, you sort of pick up on those details a lot more quickly than somebody who relies much more on colours. But they've thought about that, and it's quite nifty and blends in with the theme rather well. I really like that a lot. Right, we are going to get rid of you now then. So the major can go, let's put you in this room here. We gain 3 victory points for that. 1, 2, 3. We get an extra 3 money. Move you along one. Yeah, I think that's okay. And then his go twice. So he's going to grab 2 guests. He's going to grab a yellow. Oh no, he's gaining loads of victory points. 7. That's the trouble with not having a lot of room. You sort of leave yourself open to them gaining really, really high amounts of points. So he's piling up now. We're also going to gain a grey, so highest number of victory points is this guy here. And he's unfortunately going right at the top, so for an extra 2. So he's getting 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4 for him. Oh dear, that wasn't a good turn. Then he's going to go for the minimum number of die, so this 5. We are on round 5, so he's grabbing that, and he's going for a objective, so he is going to be scoring the 15 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. He has passed us. And not only that, he's going again. So blue, this guy, 2 victory points. He's just hemorrhaging through guests. And a 1 or a 2. And number 5, so he moves up twice on the victory point, on the Emperor track. And we do not draw a final scoring because it's in the brackets. Phew! Okay, do I want a guest? Where are we in terms of serving everyone and our objectives? So we need 2 columns that are occupied. So these guys can occupy these, and then we need another red and a blue. Or a green, obviously, can go in there. So that could be okay. We need another red to satisfy this one, and another yellow. So we're still quite far off from getting all of these people. Maybe I should go for this guy, because he's going to be easier to serve. Yeah, let's do that, I think. I could use him to prepare the rooms, and then something like that, maybe. This guy's too expensive. He's just heavy on the strudel. Wow, 3 portions of strudel and some wine. That's some day. What do I want to do? I don't want all of this money. I got so much money and I don't know what to do with it. I could just play a card. None of these are going to be particularly useful though. Okay, I think we need a higher turnover of rooms. So what I'm going to do is come here. So I have to pay 1. I'm going to boost it as well. So this is of strength 3. I want 3 wine. So we're going to go wine, wine, wine. Or shall I go wine, wine, coffee? Let's go wine, wine, coffee, because then we can give that to you, and we're going to put you in a room straight away. We're going to put you in this one here. We gain 1 victory point for that. We get to prepare 2 rooms for a discount of 1, so we're going to go here straight away. So 2 to prepare this red room, and then 1 more room. I need another yellow room for this guy. Shall I do that one? Shall I do this one up here to get the victory point? Yeah, for the sake of 1 money, do that. Okay, I think that was reasonably good. And then we can get some red wine for you guys later. Good, okay, so that's both of us done. So Emperor scoring, so let's do me first. So I gain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We minus 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I gain the bonus of 5 crowns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have got so much money. He doesn't gain any bonus, but he does score the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Minus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, second to last round. I don't feel like I'm turning over guests quickly enough. I really need to get moving on these objectives. And I also need to play my endgame scoring card, because that's about red rooms. 3 points per occupied red room. So I actually I'll hopefully have 4. So that's a good number of points. Sorry, I'm not looking at what these die are. 4, 4, 4. We've got lots of 4s again. So he's actually going to go first. Blue. Good. No victory points for you. And then max number of dice. He's going for this one here. That's fine. I don't think we would have gone there. And round 6. So he's going to push up twice on the Emperor track and grab B. But he is... he's already done it. We are drawing an assistant for him. So he is just going to be drawing an assistant. I haven't really sort of decided what that means. I think it's to do with the endgame scoring cards that may say, like, if you've played 3 assistants or something like that. He's basically played an assistant now. But we don't have to worry about that, so that's okay. Now I can go twice. I want to gain a guest. But who do I want? I want another red. And this yellow will be fine. I can stick you in there. So I want another red. I'm going to get you then. You're quite fussy though. You need cake, strudel, cake, red wine and coffee. That's quite a lot. So really and truthfully, I wanted to go here, but there's nothing here. There's nothing there. So that's really bad. What I could do is, shall I get this endgame scoring card now? I think so. Let's draw that then. Discount of 2. So I do get to play that. And I do gain a second action. I wonder if I should play this, because I'm really getting a lot of wine out. I don't know. Let me think about this a little bit more. I don't think I want to prepare rooms. I only need 1 cake. I do desperately need red wine. So if I went there, I could boost it to 2. So I could get 2 wine and I could put you away and you away. That could be quite good. Or am I better off? No, I'm not. I was just thinking I could try and play this card so I can gain a red wine every round, but I don't think that's worth it. It's too expensive. I think we're going to do that then. Bite the bullet. So we have to pay 1 to go there. We're going to boost it so it's a value 2. We're going to grab 2 wines and we're going to give you wine and give you wine. And then we're going to send you to your rooms. Councillor of Commerce, why don't you inhabit this room on the top floor? And that means we have satisfied a little block of 2. So 2 gives us 3 crowns. 1, 2, 3. You give us an extra 5 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have got so much money. We don't gain any victory points for that. And then we're so close to this one and this one. We need another blue though. We're going to put you in a room as well. You can go into this one here. You are going to give us a victory point and a free strudel. Unfortunately, he wants cake, not strudel. But that's okay. I think that was good because what we can do is really try and push. I don't think we're not going to get enough. Anyway, we'll see what we can do. His last go. Yeah, we might need to do this instead of the, I'm just thinking ahead. So I've already drawn that. He gets to flip a unoccupied room to an occupied room. So I could put him into this room here, choose his power to flip this one, to then allow us to get 2 columns. At that point, we would also have 4 reds and the 3 occupied yellows to also score that one. So we need to grab you cake and red wine and coffee. So we really need both of those materials. We should be able to get that. Yes. Anyway, you're grabbing a red person. You score 1 for that. And you pop them into this room up here. We're then going to grab a 6. Oh, we shouldn't have been doing that, sorry. Let's reverse that. You don't grab that person. What we do is draw a new card because there's no 6s. There are blues and there's a minimum number of die. So even if there's no die or the right colour, you have to then draw a new card. So unfortunately that's bad for us because they're then scoring a lot more points for this person. So 4 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the minimum number of die, this 5. Second to last round. 1, 2, 3. And B, but they have scored B still. I'm just thinking as well, we really wanted to push up on that Emperor track for that last one. Otherwise, we're going to be getting a penalty in a minute. Oh, dear. Alright, we'll have to worry about that in a minute. We're on the last round. So, very final round. As always in these games, you always come away with it being like, oh, I just need one more round just to do what I wanted to do. So there's not a lot of strudel or cake, so I'd have to boost that one. That's unfortunate. There are lots of 6s though. Okay, guests. Is there anything that we can do to be a bit clever? Is there anything at all we can do to be clever here? No, I don't think so. I was just thinking, if I could sort of work it, so I open this room here and somehow serve or close this room off, I would then get 6 extra Emperor points. But I don't think I'll be able to gain the cake and red wine and coffee in that time. I do have 2 strudel that I can serve to people. But nobody wants 2 strudel. You want 1 strudel, but I don't think you're going to really help. I think I've just found a way to do it all. Now watch me as it all falls apart. We'll see if we can do it. We're going to get this guy here. And this is so risky. We actually lose victory points if there's any guests at our table. I think it's 5 victory points for any guest in our table that's not been sent to a room. So this is risky. We are then going to draft our die. So we're going to draft this. We're going to pay 1 and we're going to pay another to boost it. So this is a value 4. We're then going to grab 3 red wine and a coffee. Red wine, red wine, red wine, coffee. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. I don't know. We'll see. We can't send you to a room. It's just whether or not they get the big points now. Okay, there you go. So they don't draw a guest because of the brackets. They're going to grab the minimum amount of die. And last round, yeah, darn it, they're going to get the victory points now. They push up 1 and gain C. Oh, I left it way too long. Still, we'll see if we can do something about it. So they get 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they get a nice big 75 victory points. Because they're going to loop us. Right. Don't get B. Don't get A, rather. They haven't got A. Good. They are going to draw 2 guests, though. So they're going to draw this red person. They're going to go where I wanted as well. Anyway, red person. So they gain 1. And they gain somebody with the highest number of victory points. So yellow. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going to draw a 3 or a 4. They're going to draw the 3. They can't push up anymore, so they just gain victory points. 1, 2, 3. And C objective, which they've already done. So moment of truth of whether or not I am an idiot, we will see. I'm going to draw this one. I am not drawing a guess, by the way. I'm not even going to reshuffle that. I'm drawing this of value 1, so I can prepare 1 room. I'm going to spend a chrome to prepare this yellow room right here. I'm then going to send Mr. Portrait Painter into this room. So, whoop, whoop, I have completed a little block of 3. So I gain 6 on the Emperor track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He doesn't give me any victory points. He does give me a wild resource. So I'm going to serve Senior Councillor some cake. I gain an extra 2 money. You go over there. And then, wow. You, Mr. Senior Councillor, are going to reside in the bottommost room. I hope you don't mind. You gave me 7 victory points there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I get to flip another room to its occupied side. So I'm going to choose this one right here. I didn't realise this as well. So I've actually completed a little block of 2 blue rooms. So that's 5 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have done both objectives. So we have completed 2 columns of occupied rooms. So that's an extra 10 points. We're on 80. So we have a nice snazzy little 75 victory points as well. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 red rooms, and we've actually got 4 yellow rooms, so we gain an extra 10 on that as well. Whoa, I pulled it off. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit pleased with that. My brain isn't always that good at visualising how these things are going to be panning out. I think that that's all correct. Whew. And we might squeeze a win. I don't want to say that. We're neck and neck. Okay. We've both drawn the die. We're on the very final part. So Emperor scoring. Let's do me first. So I score 8. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have to minus 7 from my space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's going to score 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Neck and neck. And it doesn't matter about his 7, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I gain 2 victory points per assistant. It wasn't a massive detriment. It would have only lost me 4 points, but still. I don't really want to lose them if I can help it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we proceed to final scoring. I think that went reasonably well. Usually they manage to score all of the objectives. I bet it's going to be like the next card out. No, that was in brackets. Not on that one either. Yeah, it was on that card. They were going to do it. And again on that card earlier on in the game. So yeah, we were reasonably lucky with that draw. But anyway, let's score me first. I'm going to go and grab... No, I'm not going to grab a calculator. We could just do it on the track here. But, so, we're going to do me first. So, score my staff cards with the endgame scoring criteria. So, I have only played a couple of assistant cards. This one was so useful. But I get 3 points per occupied red room. So, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So, 4 times 3 is an extra 12 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Score your occupied rooms in your hotel. So as well as having a price to open the rooms at the side, they have victory points. So any occupied room on the very top floor is worth 4 points, and then 3, 2, and 1. So I've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 21, 23, 24, 25, 26 points there. So we're nearly getting to the 150 mark. 1 victory point for every leftover dish and money that we have not used. So I gain 2 for that. And then we've got 13 money. 1, 2, 3, 13. So we're on 155 at the moment. And then finally, we would lose 5 victory points for every guest still sitting in the cafe at the end of the game. We have managed to push everyone into our rooms, so that's pretty good. I actually thought that the objectives were scored at the end of the game. Apparently they're not. So it's a good job that I did definitely score them as we went along. It doesn't really make sense to do them at the end of the game. So that is us. We have 155 points. I think that's not my top score, but it's a standard score. Usually they get around this area, so we will see. They are lagging behind quite a lot here. So basically, they just take the score that they've got. We're also doing the room tiles on there. So again, as ours, they would score 4 for any occupied rooms at the top, 3, 2, and 1. So they have got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 9, 30, 31, 32, 33. Ouch. And then assistance with end game effects. So let's see where they've got 2 assistants with end game effects. So they score a point for every occupied and 1 point for every unoccupied room. So they don't score any for unoccupied, so they gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh my gosh, this is close. And unfortunately, they score, again, 1 point for every occupied room, so they get an extra 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at that! Didn't I say that they usually score around that area? So they have ended with 161, I have got 155. And that is with them not gaining that objective over here as well. Ouch. They did well. They always do well. So that was the normal difficulty. I don't think I would be ready to go up to any higher difficulty because very rarely do I actually squeeze past them. I thought I might on this game. I was quite pleased with that last combo, but yeah, that's it's a pretty tight game. But anyway, that is Grand Austria Hotel. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. I will be back in a moment to let you know my final thoughts on the game. So sharing some thoughts on the solo mode from Grand Austria Hotel. So this is, just designed by a normal person. I do believe that they are very well rehearsed in designing these sorts of solo modes though, because they do have a good number of them. I think they have their own little website from what I remember. I will pop the link in the description down below so you can see what other games they do. This is a very, very smooth experience. It is fantastic. It's brilliant. So massive thanks to them. They are wonderful human being for getting this out as a print and play. Have so much fun with it. Even though this game is quite old from, like a modern gaming perspective, it is one that I think is still one of my favourites in my collection. It is not one that I visually find that appealing. I think it's a very weird mismatch of themes and colours in this game. Like the box art isn't particularly attractive looking. It's very... I don't particularly like all of the character art. It's the colours are very... They clash a bit, I think, from visually looking. The board itself is very typical Euro looking, so that's not too much of an issue. But then I don't think it really matches with the very vibrant like hotelier area that you have with your red and your yellow and your blue rooms. And then you've got your very subtle like bar area where you put all of your dye, where it's very much more neutral. I think it doesn't quite look that seamless when you have it all out on the table. So component-wise and visually, this is definitely not up there on my favourites. As well, the cardstock is very, very thin. There are a few that are getting a bit scuffed now, trying to pick them up, and they are just bending a little bit too much. So all in all, the production is not perfect, not brilliant, but that is not where this game shines. This game shines mechanically. It is such a fun game when you are rolling the die and trying to hope for a certain value to come up, not because of necessarily the action that you want it to do, but for how strong that action is that you want to do. I also love the fact that you can draw the 6, and that's a wild action. So at any point you can, as a cost of a small penalty for 1 krone, you can draft that 6 and do any wild action. But it is quite costly if you don't have a good turnover of money. There are definitely some games that I have found where I've really struggled with money, and that's because of the type of guests that you're taking into your hotel, whereas other games like this one, I'm basically swimming in money. So it's a really interesting game where you have to be weighing up all of your options all the time across multiple different layers. So you are worried about your objectives, you're worried about the emperor track, you are worried about what guests you're encouraging into your hotel because of their particular wants. So do you want ones that are very strudel heavy or ones that are more interested in the drinks, according to what you're looking at and various bonuses that you can get, but also like what rooms you have available at the time. There's a lot of different layers to this game, and it just makes for a very, very satisfying experience. I really do love the fact that the guests are so different in their feel. So I think it's the blue ones that allow you to sort of manipulate rooms and assistant cards a little bit more. The red ones really have a good turnover of money. Like I was trying to turn over lots of reds in this game, so I became quite rich. I believe the greens have a lot, like more of a wild ability. May allow you to draw more cards, etc. And the yellows, I'm just looking at what the yellows do now, but they can give you like goods, a little bit of money. They do a little bit of everything. So it's very, very interesting to have that balance of, as I said, like they want different things as well. So they tend to want a bit more wine than the coffee maybe, or the other colour tends to want the cake and strudel, but not always. So it's a real balancing act in this game. It is a very, very, very brilliant mind puzzle. There's a lot of different routes that you can go down, I feel, and not one of them is right and wrong. I feel like no matter what you do, you're going to be scoring points and you're going to be cranking up those victory points, but only people that have a really, really good imagination of how all of this pans out is going to be scoring into those really high scores that I cannot reach. I specifically found it quite interesting in this playthrough that I did where there were certain die that weren't really appearing that much, so I was very aware. You can sometimes become aware of an action that you really desperately want to do. You want like more materials, say, and the die just aren't coming up for you, and the sixes, as I said before, you have to pay to go there, so they're quite expensive to just continually take all the time. So it's very interesting. At that point your focus tends to sway a little bit, and to looking at the bonuses that you get from your guests. You can still perhaps get materials, but you have to like just get them elsewhere, whether that's for an assistant card that you may want to play on your turn, so you're looking at fives instead, or if you want to actually take a yellow person up to the room instead of that blue you were trying to get, but then that will trigger you to get more resources to then get the materials that you need to satisfy that blue person. There's a really nice sort of flow to this game, and there always seems to be a way of achieving what you want to achieve. You just may have to approach it in a different way. On top of that as well, you do have those little bonuses in your hotel. So when you are like occupying certain groups of rooms, you do get either money or the Emperor Track bonus or victory point bonuses. So you can get extra pushes in that way as well. So like you could see in my very final turn of the game, I wanted to push up that Emperor Track to not get that 4 victory point penalty from the Emperor scoring. And so I was trying to find a way of trying to push myself up that track without drawing a die from that spot on the board, because that was a waste of an action in my head, because I didn't think that was going to be my best use of time and gaining victory points. But at the same time, I was still trying to work out a way of trying to offset that detriment. So it's very, very interesting. There's multiple layers. It's a very intricate game, and I personally feel it's very highly replayable. From setup alone, there's not a massive amount of variation. Your objectives will change each game, so I think there's 4 of each, 4 A's, 4 B's, 4 C's, and the cards that you draw, your assistant cards, are going to be changing as well. So it will sort of alter the feel of the game a little bit, but I personally feel that this replayability comes from how competitive the AI is. As I said, that this one is designed with 3 different difficulty modes. The easy mode I did find was quite easy, and it's definitely a very good way to learn the game. And I would recommend starting on that difficulty, and the normal mode I think is absolutely spot on. They have done such a great job of designing this to feel like a real life opponent. They are competing with you to get those high victory point guests, and not only just the victory point guests, but it doesn't really matter what colour they are, so they're going to be just unpredictable in who they're drawing each time. They're also going to be gaining those final point scoring cards as well, so you've got to be a little bit careful of what those are and try to maybe offset that a little bit. Each and every time I play this on normal difficulty, they always end up around the 150, 160 point mark. I think the biggest they scored for me was 170 something. So they must have got like their other objective as well in that game. But it feels just out of reach every time, just that little bit more. I want to play it again right now just to see if I can squeeze that little bit more out. Now I'm in the mindset of this game and the flow. Can I get there this time? And most of the times, no. But it's just that little bit out of reach, so it doesn't feel unobtainable. I believe the hard mode would present quite a good challenge for those who are much more methodically, strategically minded. So I think that this is an absolutely outstanding solo mode for free. I think it was a couple of maybe 3 or 4 sheets of A4 because they are quite large cards because there's quite a lot of information on them. But if you are able to and willing to put that effort into printing them off, I would highly recommend this game as a solo game. I have also played this one multiplayer, once 2-player. If I'm honest, I don't remember too much about it as to downtime. I don't remember it overstaying its welcome 2-player. I think if it was a 3 or 4-player game, there would definitely be a little bit more sitting around twiddling your thumbs, just because on your turn you can't really plan too much about what you want to do until you know for certain how strong each and every one of the die are going to be and what guests are going to still be available. So definitely this one really shines at 1 and 2 players for me. There's not too much interaction as well, so I can't really imagine that playing it at higher player counts will sort of enhance the experience in any way. It will just make it a little bit more competitive for those objectives. But going back to the solo mode, this is such a well-designed one. When you're running automas, quite often sometimes you can sort of hit rules that are a little bit fuzzy, or you need to keep going back to them and clarify, or the turns just take a little bit too long, and so you're taking yourself out of the game when you're running them. This one is super, super quick, and all the iconology is really, really easy to follow. And I absolutely love the fact that all the difficulty levels are on the same card. So it's simply, you ignore certain bits for easy, you ignore a little bit less for the normal difficulty, and you look at the whole thing for hard difficulty. Brilliant design, and it's not difficult to run in the slightest. It's very smooth, very, very fast experience. I do sometimes feel that there was an easier way of necessarily obtaining more assistant cards. There's definitely guests in this game that do allow you to draw more, but I was playing a game yesterday and I didn't draw at the beginning of the game any end game scoring cards, and the objectives were skewing me towards guests that did not offer any extra drawing of the assistant cards. So I ended up absolutely scoring nothing in terms of end game scoring, like final bonuses. And that really was to my detriment. And so I wish there was a way of necessarily, I don't know, when you're drawing extra assistants, maybe draw 5 and discard however many, according to how many you're actually drawing, just so you can get that larger turnover of the deck perhaps, which will enable you to sort of cycle through and see what endgame scoring cards you may or may not draw and which ones may be more appropriate for your strategy. That is a very, very minor quibble, though. It's very rare that happens. There are quite a few final scoring cards in the game, and so I don't necessarily feel that is necessarily a big negative here. I do really like the assistant cards in this game. I do find them a very interesting addition because they are quite expensive to actually play, so you need to ensure that you're playing them early enough in the game for them to be beneficial to you, but also that they're actually going to be useful in their ability, because a lot of them don't actually, unless they're end of game scoring, don't score you anything at the end of the game. So you need to make sure that their power is going to be useful and strong enough to tip you over the edge of that initial cost. So it's very tempting to keep going to the spot or drafting the die to like keep that turnover of cards and play lots and lots of assistant cards because they're really cool. You know, you can get one-time bonuses, or you can, you know, flip room tiles or get extra resources. They feel really satisfying to do because you feel like you're starting off some combos. But sometimes you just need to be a little bit careful, because I do feel sometimes the cost of them definitely outweighs their benefit. And so I find that a very clever thing in this game. I feel like they are very carefully balanced, and they're a very interesting addition. So I think I will leave that one there for Grand Austria Hotel. I would absolutely recommend this one to the moon and back for a solo play. Just make sure you know that this is not solo out the box. Do have a look for the print and play version of the solo mode, or pick up the Let's Waltz expansion to experience the solo game. I think that this is a very, very cleverly balanced game with a really interesting mix of card play and dice drafting. It is very, very competitive and very, very fun. There's so many ways of scoring points and various paths to victory, and I just love exploring this one again and again. Before I finish though, I will just say, and I did say about this one in the actual playthrough, I do find thematically that the Emperor track is just a little bit strange. I don't necessarily see why the Emperor has anything to do with your running of the hotel and why he's that bothered, but it's a really interesting the scoring mechanism, as you are very much aware of those points on the track when you are at the end of rounds 3, 5 and 7. You are quite worried about those detrimental points or negative factors that are going on. So it makes for an interesting mechanism and interesting thing to think about whether or not it ties in with the theme seamlessly. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and you will be let know of any future releases that I do. Otherwise, have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye!